There's a moment that changes everything with money. It's not your first job. It's not your first paycheck. It's not even your first investment. It's the day you pay off your first credit card and see that zero balance. Something shifts. The way you think about debt changes. The way you see your monthly budget changes. And if you handle the next 30 days correctly, that one payoff becomes the domino that knocks down everything else. But here's what most people miss. They pay off their first card, they celebrate for a day, and then they either slide back into debt or they let that freed-up payment disappear into their checking account. They don't redirect it. They don't build on it. And they lose the momentum that could have accelerated every financial goal they have. This is educational content, not personal financial advice. What I'm sharing here is a framework to understand what happens after you hit that first zero balance and how to use it strategically. Let me show you why the first payoff matters so much. It's not about the amount. Whether you paid off $500 or $5,000, the milestone is the same. You prove to yourself that you can eliminate debt. That's a psychological win that changes behavior. Before the payoff, debt feels permanent. It's just a fact of life. You have credit card balances, you make minimum payments, and you assume it'll always be there. But the first time you take a balance all the way to zero, you realize it's not permanent. It's solvable. And that shift is powerful. Here's what happens psychologically. When you're carrying debt, every purchase feels justified because you're already in the hole. What's another $50 on the card when you owe $3,000? It's a drop in the bucket. But once you've cleared one card, you protect that zero balance. You don't want to go backward. The pain of restarting is greater than the pain of saying no to a purchase. That's behavioral change. And it doesn't require willpower. It requires one proof point that you can win. Now, let's talk about what happens financially. When you pay off a credit card, 3 things change immediately. 1, your monthly cash flow increases. Whatever you were paying toward that card is now freed up. If it was $100 a month, you just gave yourself a $100 raise. 2, your credit score improves. Your credit utilization drops, which is a major factor in your score. If you were using 50% of your available credit, paying off one card might drop you to 20 or 30%, and your score jumps. 3, you stop paying interest. If that card had a 20% APR, you're no longer hemorrhaging money every month on interest charges. Let me give you the math on that last one. Say you had a $2,000 balance at 20% APR and you were paying $100 a month. Your effective interest per month is about $33. Over a year, that's $400 going to interest instead of principal. When you pay off the card, you stop the bleed. That $400 a year invested compounds. Over 10 years, that's $6,000 to $7,000. Over 20 years, it's over $20,000. You didn't just eliminate $2,000 in debt. You eliminated the opportunity cost of carrying it. Now here's the framework. It's called the Debt Freedom Ladder. 5 rungs, and you move up one at a time. Bottom rung, you're in debt and making minimum payments. You're treading water. Second rung, you pay off your first credit card. This is the proof of concept rung. You've shown yourself it's possible. Third rung, you clear all high-interest debt. That's anything above 8 to 10%. Credit cards, payday loans, personal loans with bad rates. Fourth rung, you clear all consumer debt. Car loans, remaining credit cards, anything that's not your mortgage or student loans. Fifth rung, true debt freedom. Everything's paid off or you're only carrying low-interest strategic debt, like a mortgage. Most people never get past the first rung because they don't have a system. But once you hit rung 2, the ladder becomes clear. You know what's next. And each rung gets easier because you're building momentum and freeing up cash flow. Let's talk about momentum. This is the thing people underestimate. When you pay off your first card, you don't just eliminate that balance. You free up the monthly payment. And if you immediately redirect that payment to the next debt, you accelerate everything. This is the debt snowball in action. Say you were paying $100 a month to card 1. You pay it off. Now you take that $100 and add it to whatever you're already paying on card 2. If you were paying $50 on card 2, now you're paying $150. Card 2 gets paid off faster. Then you take that $150 and add it to card 3. The payment grows. The timeline shrinks. And the psychological wins keep stacking. Here's the decision tree for what to do after you pay off your first card. You hit zero balance. Now you've got that monthly payment freed up. Where does it go? First question. Do you have a buffer in checking? If no, build a small buffer first. $500 to $1,000. You need that cushion so you don't go back to using the card for emergencies. If yes, move to the next question. Do you have other high-interest debt? If yes, redirect the full payment to the next card or loan. Attack it with the same intensity. If no, move to the next question. Do you have an emergency fund of at least 1 month of expenses? If no, build that. If yes, now you're in good shape. You can split the freed-up payment between investing and building a larger emergency fund. That's the tree. It's not complicated, but most people skip steps. They pay off one card and immediately start spending that freed-up payment. They go out to dinner to celebrate and it becomes a new habit. Or they let it sit in checking and it disappears into normal spending. The key is to redirect it immediately. Automate it if you can. The day after you make your last payment on card 1, set up an automatic transfer of that same amount to card 2 or to savings. Don't give yourself time to adjust your lifestyle upward. Now let's talk about what not to do. Mistake 1. Closing the card. A lot of people think paying off a card means they should close it. Bad move in most cases. Closing a card lowers your available credit, which increases your credit utilization ratio on your remaining cards, which can hurt your score. Unless the card has an annual fee you don't want to pay, or you genuinely can't trust yourself not to use it, keep it open. Just don't use it. Or use it for one small recurring charge like a subscription and set it to auto-pay. Mistake 2. Celebrating with spending. You just got out of debt. Don't go back in to celebrate. It sounds obvious, but it happens all the time. People pay off a card and then book a trip or buy something big and finance it. You just undid your progress. If you want to celebrate, do it in a way that doesn't cost money or costs very little. Acknowledge the win. Tell someone who will understand. But don't spend your way backward. Mistake 3. Not tracking your credit score. Paying off a card should improve your score, usually within 1 to 2 billing cycles. Check it. See the impact. That's another psychological win. You did something, and the system responded. Your score went from 650 to 680. That's real. And it reinforces the behavior. Here's a quick test. If you paid off your first credit card in the past 90 days and your credit score hasn't improved, something's wrong. Either the payoff hasn't reported yet, or there's another issue dragging your score down. Check your credit report. Make sure the balance shows as 0. Make sure there aren't errors or missed payments on other accounts. You should see an improvement within 60 days. Now let's walk through 3 scenarios to show you the compounding impact of redirecting that payment. Scenario 1. Person pays off card 1, $1,500 balance, was paying $100 a month. They stop the payment and let that $100 disappear into spending. They maintain their lifestyle. 5 years later, they're in the same place. Debt is still there on other cards. No progress. Scenario 2. Same person, same payoff. But they redirect the $100 to card 2 immediately. Card 2 has $3,000 on it. They were paying $75 a month. Now they're paying $175. Card 2 is paid off in 18 months instead of 4 years. They keep rolling the payment to card 3. Within 3 years, all credit card debt is gone. 5 years later, they've been investing that money and they have $15,000 to $20,000 in an investment account. Scenario 3, same person, but they not only redirect the payment, they also add any raises or windfalls to the debt payoff. Every tax refund, every bonus, every $50 they find in the budget goes to debt. Debt is gone in under 2 years. They start investing aggressively. 5 years later, they have $40,000 to $50,000 invested, and they're on track for early financial independence. Same starting point. 3 completely different outcomes. The difference is what they did in the first 30 days after that initial payoff. Here's the 30-day action plan after you pay off your first card. Day 1. Confirm the zero balance. Log in, screenshot it, save it. This is your proof. Day 2. Update your debt tracking. If you're using a spreadsheet or app, mark the card as paid off. See the progress visually. Day 3. Redirect the payment. Set up the automatic transfer to your next target, whether that's another card, a loan, or your savings account. Day 4. Check your credit report. Make sure the zero balance reports correctly. Day 5. Review your budget. Now that this payment is freed up, make sure it's accounted for in your plan. Don't let it become discretionary spending. Day 6 through 10. Monitor your spending. This is when the temptation to celebrate with money is highest. Stay disciplined. Day 11 through 20. Continue your normal routine, but watch for the psychological shift. You should feel lighter, less anxious about money, more in control. Day 21 through 30. Check your credit score. See if it's improved. If it has, that's your reinforcement. If it hasn't, investigate. By day 30, the new system should feel normal. The redirected payment is automated. The zero balance is protected. And you're already making progress on the next target. That's the month that locks in the momentum. If you do this correctly, you won't slide backward. You'll keep moving up the debt freedom ladder. Let me give you the numbers on how fast this can go if you stay committed. Say you have 3 credit cards. Card 1 is $1,500 at $100 a month. Card 2 is $3,000 at $75 a month. Card 3 is $5,000 at $125 a month. Total debt is $9,500. Total monthly payments, $300. You focus on Card 1. Pay it off in 15 months. Redirect the $100 to Card 2. Now Card 2 gets $175 a month. It's paid off in 18 months. Redirect the $175 to Card 3. Now Card 3 gets $300 a month. It's paid off in 18 months. Total time to clear all 3 cards, about 4 years if you stick to the minimums. But with the snowball, you're done in under 3.5 years. And in the last 18 months, you're hitting Card 3 with $300 a month, which feels fast. That momentum keeps you motivated. Here's what changes after you're completely debt-free. Your monthly cash flow has $300 extra. If you invest that, in 10 years, it's $60,000 to $70,000. In 20 years, it's over $200,000. That's the opportunity cost of staying in debt. You're not just paying off the balances. You're unlocking your future earning potential. Now, one more thing. Some people ask, should I do the snowball method or the avalanche method? Snowball is smallest balance first. Avalanche is highest interest rate first. Mathematically, avalanche saves you more money. You kill the high interest debt and minimize total interest paid. But psychologically, snowball gives you quick wins. You pay off that small card fast, you feel progress, and you stay motivated. Here's my take. If you're just starting and you need the psychological win, do snowball. Pay off the smallest balance first. Get that zero balance. Prove to yourself it's possible. After that, switch to avalanche. Target the highest interest rate. You've already got the momentum. Now optimize for math. The hybrid approach works for most people. Here's the shift people don't talk about. Once you've paid off your first card, you start thinking differently about money. You see purchases through a different lens. Before, everything was, can I afford the monthly payment? After, it's, do I want to delay my next debt payoff for this purchase? The frame changes. You're not just managing cash flow. You're protecting progress. And that's a healthier relationship with money. Let me give you one final thing to watch for. After you pay off your first card, credit card companies will try to re-engage you. You'll get offers for 0% balance transfers. You'll get credit limit increases. You'll get invitations to use the card for rewards. Ignore all of it unless you have a specific strategic reason. The goal isn't to optimize credit card rewards while you still have debt. The goal is to get out of debt as fast as possible. Rewards come later, after you're free. So here's where you are. If you just paid off your first credit card, congratulations. You've hit rung 2 of the debt freedom ladder. Now you redirect that payment immediately. You protect the zero balance. You track your credit score improvement. And you keep climbing. If you're close to paying off your first card, finish it. The momentum you gain from that first zero balance is worth more than any purchase you're considering. The Debt Freedom Ladder gives you the milestones. The Payment Redirect Decision Tree gives you the next move. The 30-day action plan gives you the structure. And the compound math shows you why it matters. This isn't about perfection. It's about not going backward and maintaining momentum. Pay off one card, redirect the payment, repeat. That's how you go from rung 2 to rung 5. And once you're at the top, every dollar you earn starts working for you instead of paying for your past.